Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to my morning report chart analysis videos on Friday 28th of July. With me, Richard Perry, market analyst at Hantec Markets. The markets have started on a bit of a cautious note, certainly on equities, lower. Now what we had last night was results from Amazon, which have hit the market a little bit hard overnight actually. Asian markets were lower and European markets have sort of turned lower as well. The European markets are under pressure generally. Certainly the DAX continues to break down to multi-month lows actually, and it is under pressure. But S&P 500 turning a bit round, not quite turning a bear key one-day reversal, but yeah, it certainly had a little bit of pressure yesterday to the downside, and it looks like it's sort of turning a bit. You had the VIX, which was higher yesterday, big spike in the VIX, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens now on equities, because earnings season in the States has been a positive for markets, but yesterday it just started to just wane a bit, and certainly these results from Amazon have not helped. Now, in terms of, wrong chart. In terms of your dollar moves, we've seen the dollar, which has been a bit mixed today. Yesterday it had a big rally on the back of the durable goods data, which sort of has set us up for Q2 growth data today. Now the market is possibly expecting a little bit of a Q2 growth improvement, certainly 1.4%. Q1 is going to be improved upon, and the Atlanta Fed GDP nowcast is expecting 2.8% now on the Q2 growth. Now consensus forecast is for 2.6%. Where you go, today's announcements, 2.6% on the growth. So could there be a bit of an upside surprise? It's possible, and that's why the market rallied yesterday. Not so much today, because we've had overnight, we had the announcement from the Senate were voting on the healthcare bill again, and they again voted it down, 49 to 51. So Trump remains under pressure with the fact that this healthcare bill cannot get through, and the market just on the dollar certainly a little bit under pressure, with yields slightly lower again, although the 10-year has rallied slightly. 10-year yield is slightly higher, but yeah, the yields are still a problem for the US. Now, this is an interesting chart, I still think, which is the spread between the bund yield underneath the 10-year yield, which I've normally do 10-year yield over the bund, but I've flipped it round, so it is actually a positive correlation between that and Eurodollar, and you can see it's a very positive correlation. But the spread has been sort of widening, which would suggest that the Eurodollar climbing is a bit of a sort of a counteracting trade, really. So that's interesting. Counter to that bund yield spread over underneath the Treasury yield, which is widening. So let me take you to my data points today, which is the growth at 130. Canadian GDP for May is expected to be plus 0.2%, and then Michigan sentiment. So it's all about GDP today, certainly for the States and Canada this afternoon. Once this chart uploads, not going to do it. Okay, thank you so much. There we go. Michigan sentiment final at 93.1. That is in line with the prelim as well. My chart today is the dollar Swiss. Now this has had a sharp upside break. What a big move that is. Big dollar strength move. Now you've been in this downtrend channel and you've broken that downtrend channel, but not only that, let me show you this at 97 figure, this pivot that we've had, old lows, became resistance through July, and it is now being tested, really tested. The high today, 97.20, just pulled back a little bit, but yeah, that is a really key level, I think, near term. So that pivot needs to be watched. Breakout, a successful closing breakout would open 97.70. which is that 15th of June high. But then the market sort of comes back towards this old big low, this big floor, 98.50. So yeah, the improvement in the market would certainly be a turnaround. Look at that RSI, highest since mid-May. MACD lines crossing higher, stochastics higher as well, but the RSI up towards 60. Now, if it can get through 60, that would be a big signal of an improvement. Certainly 60 has been limiting the rallies throughout the fact that the dollar has been under pressure since December. So yeah, could that be a signal of a turnaround? Interesting one to watch, but near term you'd sort of point towards initial reaction low 96.60. 96.70 is where that trend line comes in today, and the moving average, but the trend line predominantly comes in around that 96.70 mark. 96.30 is today's low, and then an old pivot around 96 figure. So a few supports for you to work with, but generally speaking, we're seeing this dollar Swissy moving higher, and that would sort of come with the expectation that possible upside surprise in the growth data today for the US. So with that in mind, I wish you good luck in your trading today, and I will speak to you later. Thank you.